Head coach Sean Phillips, let's talk about the Marquette game coming up. You're 2 games into the season, another big 2-game weekend coming up with the first one being Marquette. First of all, tell us what you learned about the team these first 2 games and kind of where you stand going into this 3rd game.
Well, we continue to put the pieces together. We had to replace the spine of our team. We added 14 new players since last fall. So it's a work in progress. Not pleased with the loss on Friday. A lot of good pieces of performance in the game on Friday against a top 25 team on the road. It's proving that what this staff believes is a good group of guys can compete with anybody, anywhere. But we were just a little bit short on getting the result. City rivalry game on Sunday night. Those are always tough. DePaul is a very good, talented team. We dug ourselves a little bit of a hole. But one of the things we learned about ourselves Sunday night was we have the fight and the grit and the determination and the ability to find a way back into that game and, if necessary, win in overtime. A lot of games over the course of the season will be decided that way, and it was great to see that our guys have the ability to do that.
And how is the emotion and what you just mentioned, the coming back from 2 goals down, winning in overtime over a city rival, how is that emotion carried through this week into preparation for Marquette?
Well, we all had to take a breath on Monday to properly channel those emotions, realizing what we did well, what we didn't do well, and really focus on how can we get better. And that's going to be something we have to do. Marquette, another Big East opponent, one of the top competitors in one of the top soccer conferences in the country, is on tap Friday, and we're going to have to be better to get a result in that environment.
Not only is Marquette a tough squad in and of themselves, they're the 3rd straight Big East team you'll have faced to start the season. Can you talk about your scheduling philosophy and what came together to bring these 3 Big East foes to the top of the schedule this year?
Well, the fact that they went 3 in a row is just kind of how the schedule fell. Philosophically, from a scheduling standpoint, we want to bring in players that want to play the best teams that we can. And these 3 Big East teams have been in the top of the Big East. Again, one of the top soccer conferences in the country. We had opportunities to play them, so we're going to take those. The other reason we do that is the Horizon League is a highly underrated conference as far as competitiveness goes. If we don't schedule like this, I don't think we'll be prepared to compete and put ourselves in a position to win championships in the Horizon League.
DePaul last Sunday was a bit of a revenge game from last year. Similarly, Marquette had a 4-1 decision here at home against you last year. How does that play into the preparation and the motivation to get up to their place and hopefully take a bite out of them?
Well, we like to try and keep the past in the past and move forward, but I'm pretty confident that will be in the minds of our players that were on the field last year. But our focus has to be on the here and now. And Marquette is another good team this year. They were a good team when we played them last year. They have a lot of very talented players returning and some very talented new players. And they seem to have a good balance of technical ability and physical prowess that we're going to have to match up against and get after it on Friday night.
They've got a preseason All-Big East member who was the freshman of the year in that conference last year, Perpa. What challenges does he pose? He scored 2 goals against you last year, so how do you plan on attacking him specifically?
Luke is a very talented player, but one of the strengths of the Marquette squad is their talented midfield. They've got a complete package there in the midfield, and I'm going to anticipate a very creative, pleasurable game to watch because our midfield's very much the same way. I think you're going to see 2 very talented midfields going at each other that are going to try to negate the strengths and exploit the weaknesses, and whichever team does a better job of that on Friday will most likely get the result.
Thanks for joining us, Coach, and good luck getting that result at Marquette on Friday.
Thanks.